I had seen you.
I feel that depression is a very, very technical topic, so I don't know whether you can equate that.
Yes, it's a chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
But,
so what
but there
happens
is
is that I mean, so I don't know whether it's right to.
No, but there is a social factor to it.
Well, yeah, but you know, I would say that I still wouldn't equate depression with. I mean, I would say that, you know, you should a forum like this would help you get away from depression, because depression needs professional help. Nothing else will help you from depression. You need professional help. I don't think that joining a bunch of kids is going to help you from, because that would be a very superficial way of looking at it. But certainly, you know, I think it creates a space for youngsters to be able to test themselves, to explore, to interact with each other, to be able to do stuff, build their own confidence. So certainly it's a great, melting pot where they can grow.
Your perspective?
You know,
as a group activity, I'm not saying.
I'll tell you, you know, we always say it's lonely at the top, and it's really true, but it's not always the case.
True, and I'm really happy about that. But I won't go into that. What I'll talk about is my two biggest learnings. My two biggest learnings from this experience of researching these various topics, meeting people from across the country. With each topic I end up meeting about 20 people, and they're from different parts of the country. It's been a fascinating experience, huge learning experience. And the two big learnings for not only me but the entire team has been, one is that if our society has to ever prosper, and it has to ever, go beyond what our expectations are, or reach where we all wanted to reach, that we dream of, then the one thing that we need to change is that we need to look at everyone and say that we are all equal. So girls especially, women, girls from the time that they are born, first of all, half the time we want to kill them before they are born. If they are born, then they are not fed as much as boys are. They are not given the same kind of education as boys are. They are not given the same health care as boys are. I'm not saying in every family that happens, but by and large that is happening on a fairly large scale. They are not given the same teachings as boys are. They are not given the same freedom, the same independence to do what. So it's a very unfair situation. Now you look at this, it's half the population of our country, roughly, girls. So we are literally saying that half the population को हम लोग हाथ पाथ पांव बांध के उनको रख देंगे, और बाकी के आधे लोग हम लोग आगे बढ़ेंगे. ऐसे नहीं होता. If we have to be strong as a society, all of us have to be strong. My sister will give me strength. My daughter will give me strength. My wife will give me strength. So I'm saying that this is a very important aspect. One of the biggest learnings is that we have to treat women as our equals and start empowering the girl child. So that is my number one learning. Inequality, we also, because in our society, unfortunately, we have the caste system, so equality also plays a big role in that. So the day we realize that, yeah, they're all human beings, they're all equal, and let's hold hands and move together, and let's give strength to each other. Let me make you more powerful, because if you're more powerful, I'm helped in the long run.
It's a tug of war theory. I mean,
I'm saying make the other guy more powerful, yeah. हम लोग को साथ में चलना है भाई, at the end of the day. That is number one. Number two, wherever we've seen in the country, people working together as a team, not bothering about what is good for me, but bothering about what is good for the entire society. I'm talking about villages. You go to a village, Nagdarwadi is the name of the village. Jao water conservation hua tha Nagdarwadi na it's called. I'm not very good with names in Maharashtra, Nagdarwadi. Over there, I may have got the name wrong. I've got the name right, I think. So over there you notice that whatever decision is taken, it's taken collectively, and no one person ever goes against that. Because they all know that ye hum step lenge, ye sabke liye acha hai. I'll give you one very quick example, you'll understand. पानी की कमी है. मेरे पास पैसे हैं और लोगों के पास कम है. कोई ट्यूबवेल लगाता है, 200 फुट का ट्यूबवेल, उसको पानी मिलता है। मैं 400 फुट का लगाता हूं क्योंकि मेरे पास और पैसे हैं। अब वो 400 रुपए का जो मैंने 400 फुट का मैंने जो ट्यूबवेल लगाया है, उससे मुझे फायदा हो रहा है। पर्सनली 1 person alone is getting benefited and the other people are not. Okay? Now the place where people have been going and building tube wells and going deeper and deeper and saying, I want water, I want water, I want water, those villages are finished. Those villages are finished. The water table is sunk totally low. What this village does is that say none of us are going to use a tube well. What we're going to do instead is we're going to do all the practices which will help all of us and then bring the water table up. So the water table is like thoda khoda aur pani milta hai. I don't need a tube well anymore. That is one of the richest villages in Maharashtra and in fact in India, just because of that, just because of water. So what we realized is wherever communities are working together, where the people are not thinking कि यार मेरा इसमें फायदा है, no, I'm thinking कि यार मेरे गांव का इसमें फायदा है, मैं ये करूंगा, जिसमें मेरे गांव का फायदा मैं वो करूंगा। जहां जहां लोग एक साथ होके काम कर रहे हैं, वहां वहां प्रॉस्पेरिटी है, खुशी है, इकोनॉमिक प्रॉस्पेरिटी है। Every kind of prosperity you will find in those places where people are working as a team. These are the two big learnings: empowerment of the girl child and working together as a community. These are the two biggest learnings for us in Satyamedh.
You know, I've always said that only if girls, you know, even in school and colleges, if you remember, the girl always went to the guy who had long hair, and I'm not saying because hair is a problem with me, but they never actually dated a decathlon runner. If girls start playing sports, and that's why I sent a message to Mary Kom on Raksha Bandhan that honestly I should tie Rakhi to you because you can protect me better than I can do.
When Satyamedh started, we had no idea what the response is going to be. We had absolutely no idea. We went into it blind. We did our best, and the kind of unbelievable response we got, it was like a tidal wave. The response to the show. And that response taught us one thing, that people are really ready for change and they are wanting a change. So that's the one big thing I can tell you. But is India ready for change? Yes, it is ready for change. Are the youth going to be involved? Yes, they're going to be involved. Because it was an organic reaction, you know, that can only happen. That can only happen when people from inside feel that, you know, I want this to change.
Abhijit, your thoughts on that? Involvement?
Effects that we noticed after the show came out is, for example, in female feticide, our first topic was female feticide in season 1. And Maharashtra is the one state which has released its figures post the show. What is the figures of girl child vis-a-vis boy child? So before the show, the figure was 890 girls for 1,000 boys. And now it is 940. 4,000 boys. Now, I think a lot of the credit for this goes to the Maharashtra government itself, because we did a show which told us a lot about this issue and sensitized people to it. But immediately after the show came out, I have to say that the Maharashtra government really swung into action. The number of raids they did across these illegal clinics, or even clinics which are legal but were doing illegal activities. So a lot of raids were done, a lot of people were arrested. They came down really, they were very dynamic. The Maharashtra government was very, very dynamic. Mr. Suresh Shetty, the health minister, was very, very dynamic. And I think that, and a lot of the people also felt that, you know, we should not be doing this. So it was like a collective thing, you know. Finally, the figures have shown that change is possible. You know, in our country, we often, one of the things that I always feel irritated with is when I hear a person saying, "Arey yaar, India mein kuch badlega nahi." It's a very cynical thought. It's a very negative thought. कि यार in India nothing ever changes. What will you do? तुम्हारे एक आदमी के करने से क्या होगा? या मेरे एक आदमी से करने? So it's a very negative thought. I completely disagree with it. Yes, change is possible. We're seeing it happening in front of our eyes. We have to just realize that yes, it is possible, and it is in fact possible. I mean, each and every topic that we took up. For example, child line. We give the number of child line. On our second episode, child sexual abuse, we give the number of child line. 40 lakh calls were received by child line after that. 40 lakh.
Wow.
And remember, child line is a number that children call to. A child calls when he's in trouble. So I'm saying that 40 lakh children were helped because of that one thing. So we got a new law for child protection. Alcoholics Anonymous got
Some
4 lakh phone
4
calls.
lakh people called.
In 65 years of their being in existence in India, they've had 35,000 members. And in like 2 months, they had 4 lakh.
Amazing.
So I'm saying change is happening. Change is possible. It is very, very possible it's happening. And every topic, I mean, I don't want to, tell you what all has happened because it sounds a little strange, I'm trying to tell you. But I'm saying that it's a very positive thing that change is happening. And it makes me and my entire team feel so encouraged that, it's really possible.
Superb. So are we ready for change? Okay, 5 to 10 minutes for your questions. Yes, the lady there. Now only ladies today. Yeah,
Is there a mic in the audience? Yeah, there is a mic there. I can see it over there.
Yeah, there are a couple of.
Oh, is that a media mic?
ये वाला भी दे दो ना.
Good evening, Amit.
Hi, what's your name?
Gitanjali.
Gitanjali.
Okay, first of all, congratulations for Dhoom 3 success and all the best for PK.
Thank you.
So, what inspired you to be the part of Young Inspirators Network?
Well, I don't know. I mean, actually, when Abhijit requested me, I said yes because I felt it's an opportunity for me to talk to you guys. And I was happy to do that. I don't know how inspiring I am. I don't like to assume too much about myself. But if I'm able to excite you guys, then I'm happy to do that.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. I would first like to say it's a big honor to meet you personally.
Pleasure.
And my question to you is, when I'm an architecture student, and whenever I talk about social causes to my parents, they always tell me nobody's going to listen to you. You're nobody. You don't have an image or something. So, how important? Like, if I, but if I were to host Satyameva Jayate, nobody probably would have seen it, or the impact would have not been so. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, everyone has their own contribution. Please sit. I think everyone has their own contribution to make. I'm a communicator. That's what my skill sets are. So I'm using my knowledge and skill sets to do what I can do to contribute. I think that you are an architecture student. For example, if you can, first of all, I want to tell you that you should tell your parents that you can bring about great change. I mean, one of the simple things that you can do, and I'm sure you will, is, in most of our constructions and design, in most of our designs, we don't even think of people who are disabled. None of our buildings, government buildings, post office, if I'm a person who can't walk or who can't see, I find it impossible to go anywhere. So that's something that you can contribute, you can make that change. Whenever you design something, you can make sure that you incorporate that into your design. So all of us have something to contribute. So you tell your parents that you're going to make a change. And while we're on this topic of architecture, I wanted to know that, one of our shows that we did on disabilities, after that, the collective Gwalior decided to make Gwalior disabled friendly. And right now, 95% of Gwalior is accessible to anyone and everyone.
Yes? At the end. We'll keep that as the end. Fine. Yeah. Before we leave, yeah? After that, the lady at the back, yeah.
Good evening, Amir sir.
Yeah, hi.
Vishal sir.
Hi,
Abhinav
Vishal.
sir. I'm Vipul from Flames Club Business
Vipul.
Pune.